Welcome back to this week's Airedale show, where we cover local, regional, national, and sports news. Today we will be taking a look at DECA competition, whether the draft will be reinstated, the impeachment, and much, much more.
Directly from the Alma High School news studio, covering news and sports from where it matters. You're watching the Airedale.
Freshmen through juniors have been working diligently throughout the school year towards their goals for next year. Autumn Pixley spoke with a few students on their goals and how it looks forward to the future.
With the Christmas season over and the new year beginning, what goals will students have for the remainder and beginning of the school year? I'm here to find out.
As far as events and things like that, but I think as far as Alma High School is concerned, I think that it will continue to see success from our students, and we've got a lot of kids that are really doing some great things academically and extracurricularly. We've got national competitions for cheer and dance. We've got a whole lot of things, spring musical, a lot coming. The baseball season, softball season, track, so many things. And I think we'll continue to see our kids be successful because we're working hard and we set a good foundation in the fall semester to continue to be successful this school year.
To raise my grades up and try to get a higher GPA and hopefully keep all my good grades and not fail. Hopefully new materials and supplies for the classrooms that's not all messed up.
What I think the new year will bring is a new setting of time for everyone to develop and grow. My goals for this school year is a common choice to get good grades and to graduate.
As you can see, not only do our students have goals for the school year, but so do our teachers.
Personally, I have the same goal a lot, but it's just to spend more time with kids, to meet more students, to get to know more students. I also would like to see our kids making good decisions in the spring as we schedule for next year and plan on what the courses they're going to take. One of my goals is to see kids choose classes that are really going to help them prepare for their future. And so I want to make sure that we do a good job of communicating what's available, and our CAPS advisors do a good job of helping students select classes that are really going to help them. So that's one of my big goals in the springtime. I also just want to see us continue to improve academically. I want to see teachers continue to improve, counselors continue to improve, and just to do better today than we did yesterday. So it's usually my goal for life, just to be better today than I was yesterday. So
I'm Autumn Pixley signing out with Airewaves Media.
Alma DECA has been working very hard on their projects for DECA competition. Chloe Lewis spoke with a few students about this incredible opportunity.
Every year in Sweet Home 1105, students are busy working on their competition pieces.
I think the best part of this competition is creating a proposed strategic plan. Every year we get like a problem. Like last year the problem was cause marketing, and you had to figure out a way to make a company's cause marketing campaign stronger. So I think it's really neat to do that and just like get a real world experience almost.
There are many struggles, but also many rewarding parts.
Probably getting to see how far you can grow as a student doing your own research paper and seeing how you can compare with others.
And many rewards go further than just the Alma community.
Seeing how much I grow and see how much money I can raise for the Arkansas Children's Hospital.
From Airewaves Media, I'm Chloe Lewis.
Graduation. All seniors have been looking forward to this day. Some seniors have goals that they have been working towards their entire high school career. Others have goals that they have for after graduation. Madison Law reports.
What are seniors going to do after graduation? I'm here to find out.
I do have a daughter in the senior class, the class of 2020. She is my youngest, so it'll be, I've been thinking all this whole year about this senior class, watching them grow up, and very, very pleasantly surprised with a lot of the leadership that you wouldn't think about. We all think about awards and academic or athletic, band, choir, but I just see the leadership in student council on community service. And maybe I see that more because I do have a daughter in the class, but I love their desire to give back.
In 5 years, hopefully I'm looking for a job to be a coach somewhere. and just help kids out.
I know as a teacher we get little Snickers or candy in our box, and it's just a little thought that counts, and that's what this class I think has been really good at. Overcoming adversity. I'm overwhelmed with the mass and the school spirit with our senior cheerleaders, our senior dance, our senior band, our senior athletes. There's been a lot of seniors have to overcome some adversity and stand up and be a leader.
As you can see, seniors have many goals after graduation.
After graduation, I'm going to go to the University of Arkansas Fayetteville and hopefully get my degree in coaching.
Especially in football. I do love football. I think it teaches a great life lesson to young men, and to see how far we went in the playoffs after such a slow start and that they didn't give up. But I wouldn't just say that about athletics. I see it in the classroom, I see it in the hallways, and I'm very thankful for this senior class because of that. It affects the environment in the classroom, and therefore it affects the academics of everybody. Because in my classroom, I have 9th through 12th. And I have a lot of different kids in Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. They take at different times in their career, so I do have the different grade levels all together, and I have appreciated their leadership this year. And it will be sad to see them go because of their accomplishments.
So I think I'm ready to graduate because I've learned a lot from coaches, teachers, and everyone around me.
I'm Madison Law, signing out with Airwaves Media.
New year, new you. Stephen Miller talked with a few of our students on how they plan to make this year better.
New Year's resolutions are hard for everybody, and that's no different for Alma High School students, and here's what they think on resolutions.
Probably like getting into shape or like cardio.
Since we've started a new year, many people are seeing if they can succeed at their New Year's resolutions.
It depends, because some people do them and then like just never do them again, and some people stick to it. So it just depends on the person.
As you can see, some Alma students think that working out and cardio is some of the most popular resolutions.
One of the most popular New Year's resolution I can think of is probably losing weight. Literally everyone does it. No one sticks to the New Year's resolutions. As hard as they try, they don't.
I'm Stephen Miller with Airwaves Media signing out.
Alma Drama Department put on an incredibly funny one-act play to entertain our community. Here's Zach Miller for more.
The one-act play called Unmurdered took the actors a lot of months to prepare. They would stay at school to prepare the play for the Alma High School students. Here is the basics of the one-act play.
This was a funny little one-act called Unmurdered, and Unmurdered is a murder mystery comedy. It's not supposed to be taken seriously at all. It should not be taken seriously. It's supposed to be kind of a funny, zany, weird thing that just kind of happens. There are a lot of characters you would recognize probably from 1776 that are in this show, which is kind of fun, but it's about a writer who comes to this artist retreat or whatever to try to get away, to try to get re-inspired to write some more, and essentially finds out that murders are happening inside the same building, and they're trying to figure out who it is.
Grant Allen is the lead role of this play. We talked to him about what the play is about.
There's really two parts that you could consider the climax. So the first part is somebody named Anna Maria, she gets murdered, and everybody kind of freaks out. So you could consider that the climax. But then there's also another person that gets murdered towards the end of the show. So I guess you would consider the first murder the climax.
The students in the Alma Theater Department worked really hard to put this play together. They also had a chance to take it to competition. I am Zachary Miller from Airwaves Media.
Solar energy. It conserves so much energy and helps our planet at the same time. Austin Smith has more.
The city of Alma is going to be putting in solar panels that will cut down energy costs for the city.
Well, the solar project, at the bare minimum, is going to save us a little over $1.7 million over a period of 25 years.
This will be good for the people of Alma.
The great thing about this project and this agreement that we have with Integrity Solar is we have no money up front in this, so we're not going to have any construction cost, nothing, no cost to the city to implement the projects. That comes solely at the expense of Integrity. The only thing that we have done on this is we've contracted with them to purchase power from them for the next 25 years.
This will allow the city to afford lowering the cost of utilities.
The first phase of this is going to be at our wastewater facilities, which is out on Oric Road. And that's really kind of what started these discussions anyway, because we're a small water system. And small water systems across the nation are going under. I mean, it's hard to meet, keep cost to our water users at a rate that is affordable and still be able to operate our system. And so that's where the first phase of this is going to go in, is at our wastewater facility. Out of those discussions grew being able to move all of our municipality buildings onto solar. So the second site location, because we're going to have two separate locations, is unknown at this point. But we have several different options. Land has already been offered up for the second location. So it's actually really exciting. And somehow or another in all of this, we're also going to be able to incorporate this project with our school system and the school district so that they can use it for science and teaching.
This is Austin Smith signing out.
Do you believe global warming is a thing? Our very own Jonathan Morgan has more.
Over the past years, Arkansas has seen less and less snow. One believed cause of this is global warming. This is the belief that human byproducts such as exhaust is hurting the ozone layer. This layer protects the earth from radiation from the sun. David Williams, a local biology teacher at Alma High School, has unique past experiences with cold weather.
Yes, I believe it is a very big problem. In my lifetime, I've seen climate change just dramatically. One of the things I tell my kids is when I was your age, I actually walked across the river on ice between Van Buren and Fort Smith. Wasn't a smart thing to do, but the river was frozen solid enough for me to walk all the way across. Haven't seen that.
Global warming does have some signs that it could be caused by humans, but is not proven. Because of this, some believe it doesn't exist.
I don't believe global warming exists because if the media would have covered it long before than it was discovered now.
As human population has multiplied, so has CO2 levels. Another source that increases the CO2 level is exhaust of vehicles or factories. Even though global warming seems like a big problem, there are some simple things we can do to help.
We go out to figure out some way or other to improve the technology that we can remove the carbon dioxide from the exhaust of vehicles, or we're going to have to go to some other form of transportation other than using fossil fuels, or we're going to have to invent something that will actually be like a plant and remove the carbon dioxide and make sugar out of it.
Well, I would say just keep doing what we're doing and just engineer better stuff that would be less detrimental to the environment.
Global warming could cause extramental damage to polar ice caps, and this can cause land masses to be flooded.
I predict that by the year 2050, which is in your lifetime, that the temperature of the Earth will increase 2 degrees Celsius, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 2 degrees Celsius, it makes a big difference. We could actually, with that 2 degrees, begin to melt all the glaciers, which would mean that Florida and Louisiana would go underwater.
Global warming is a problem that can be dealt with the right scientific technology.
It is a problem. I don't know that we are actually going to reach that dramatic a thing, because I think people will, scientists will develop something technology-wise that will help at least stabilize that curve.
Global warming isn't a proven theory, but the Earth's CO2 levels are rising. So it is vital that we do what we can to help, even if that is just riding a bike, recycling waste, or using eco-friendly products.
For Airewaves Media, this is Jonathan Morgan.
We have all heard about the draft, but do we really know if it will be reinstated? Tyson Shepard has more on this interesting topic.
There's no avoiding that there was a great threat against Iran about 2 weeks ago, and everybody's wondering the question, is there going to be another draft? Well, I'm here to tell you there's a very, very small chance that'll ever happen. Here's Senior Chief to tell you about it.
There'll never be another draft. The technology for the military has changed in a manner that manpower isn't necessarily going to win the wars of the future. With unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned surface and subsurface vehicles, you've got the Space Force, which has been authorized now. I mean, we're fighting wars in a technological battlefield. It's the wars of World War I, World War II, like the movie 1917, are not the wars of the future.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen because we have so much technology now than we did back then when we needed the draft. So we can use more technology than people. For example, like we can use drones. I wouldn't feel any different joining the military because I already want to serve the military.
With America's 1.3 million troops and 800,000 in reserve, and also considering that modern war will most likely be fought by unmanned aircrafts, there is no doubt there will never be another draft. This is Tyson Shepard for Airwaves Media.
As most of Alma knows, we have had a lot of construction going on, and most of them want to know why it's happening. Here's our very own Trenton Broyles with more.
Alma is creating a streetscape project for Fayetteville Avenue to help make it look more beautiful and safer.
Okay, obviously this project is disrupting the normal traffic flow, and we knew that was going to be the case, but I believe that there's only 1 or 2 school buses that actually have to come down Fayetteville Avenue, so it's limited effect on the school buses, but it does affect them. But primarily the impact is on the student traffic and the teachers, administration that have to use this path. This is only possible that we could complete this project because of the new bypass that goes around the edge of town, and a lot of folks are using that as an alternative route instead of coming down Fayetteville Avenue. So that helps a lot. And now, once the project's complete, part of the project includes traffic calming attributes, which means that if you'll notice, we're putting an island down the middle of the street. It's going to be an 8-foot wide island. It's going to have trees and lighting on it and landscaping, and then there'll also, the sidewalks are a little bit wider, so it's narrowing the drive path with the intention of slowing everyone down. And as students, I know everyone likes to drive a little bit faster through here. It's kind of a raceway through here now. But when the project is complete, it's the path is going to be a lot narrower, and it's going to calm traffic down, which means slow traffic down, and hopefully make it a safer road for pedestrians.
There will be more land for walking and trees.
So just a quick overview of the project. The project extends from Main Street in front of the high school to the end of Fayetteville Avenue there at East Cherry Street. And the project consists of widening sidewalks and adding that center median for that will contain trees and lamps, lamp posts, street lighting, and the sidewalks being wider have allowed us to put tree wells in the sidewalks as well, which will increase the beauty of the downtown area. A significant amount of landscaping is being added. Almost 100 trees are being added, and with the additional lighting that we're putting down here, it'll be bright in the evenings, but then there'll be good tree cover during the summer, which will actually cool things off on the sidewalks.
Fayetteville Avenue will look beautiful during day and night.
Well, as you know, when people come to Alma to go to football games or basketball games or come to the Performing Arts Center, they drive down Fayetteville Avenue. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of concern over the years about the appearance of Fayetteville Avenue. As a matter of fact, a bus with a touring group one time turned onto Fayetteville Avenue. They were headed to the Performing Arts Center, and as they turned onto Fayetteville Avenue, they said, "What have we gotten ourselves into?" Because it was kind of scary when they turned onto Fayetteville Avenue. But as they approached the end of the street and they saw the high school and the Performing Arts Center, They felt a little bit better about it. And that's not the image we want to have for our community. We want people that are traveling through to attend events at the high school to have a positive experience while they drive down Fayetteville Avenue. So the goal is to improve the appearance of Fayetteville Avenue. And unfortunately, the city does not own the buildings, so the building owners are the ones who would be responsible for improving the appearance of their building. But as a city, we are responsible for the street and the sidewalks, so that's the part that we can improve, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with this project, to just make this look better and more appealing as people travel through.
Construction is on schedule.
This project was originally scheduled for completion by June of this year, so this summer, scheduled completion. And as of today, they are on schedule, so we anticipate that to be the completion date somewhere near the end of June.
Construction does cause driving problems.
So during construction, obviously we can't do anything about the inconvenience to the traffic and to the public. If you're working in a street, improving a street, it's going to affect people and their ability to travel through that area. I wish there were a way to route everyone safely around where it didn't inconvenience them, but unfortunately, as you close a block at a time on a project, it changes every day the route that you have to take and the detours that you have to take, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to make that any better. Of course, we encourage people during this time of construction to use the Marshall Woolley Drive Highway 162 route that goes to the east of town and avoid this area during the construction.
We can afford it and it is highly supported.
In 2010, this project was added to the ballot for consideration by the citizens of Alma. They overwhelmingly supported the $2.5 million bond issue that was necessary to complete this streetscape project. And at this point, we're on budget and on schedule.
I'm Trenton Broyles, signing out for Airewaves Media.
The impeachment of Donald Trump has had a massive impact on the United States and Donald Trump as a president. This leaves the Senate to decide whether to acquit Donald Trump or not. Let's go to Noah McClanahan for more.
Before Donald Trump, two other presidents have been impeached: Andrew Johnson, Richard Nixon, and Bill Clinton. The impeachment in the United States is a process by which a legislator brings charges against a civil officer of government for crimes allegedly to have been committed. Donald Trump's impeachment has affected the entire country, with John Bolton claiming that Donald Trump has linked the withholdings of $391 million in military aid to Ukraine to promise that the Ukrainian government would investigate Joe Biden, a front-runner for the Democratic nomination for this November's presidential election. Donald Trump denies telling Bolton that Ukraine aid was tied into investigations, as John Bolton books that claims otherwise. Currently, they're in the phase of question and answer period of Donald Trump. They are also figuring out if they're going to allow witnesses or if they're going to acquit him. I'm Noah McClanahan with Airewaves Media, signing out.
The United States has been having trouble with Iran recently, with Iran attacking the United States military outposts and bases. Shane Lace has more on this story.
The Iran and U.S. are having a disagreement that has led to further issues between the two countries, which has many to believe the possibility of entering a conflict.
Well, I think there'll continue to be skirmishes. I think it's going to be dangerous for our soldiers and perhaps for travelers in certain parts of the world. Iran is known for retaliation, not so much in the rockets that they sent over a week ago, but in a month from now, bombing an embassy, or a month from now, having some other party do some sort of damage to the U.S. in a different area. So I do have concerns about the terroristic type of attacks that may happen, but I don't have too much fear of, although anything could happen, I don't have too much fear of us going to full-scale war like a Vietnam or anything like that.
Most people think that if we have a conflict with Iran, that we would defeat them within weeks.
I think the possibility is a lot less than most people realize. If it came down to an actual war between the United States and Iran, Iran has limited firepower. The United States has superior forces, superior training, and superior assets.
So I don't think it's going to spread to more of a global war, because we know what would happen then. The destruction and the cost in personnel, the cost of material, the cost in dollars is just too high to try to go in direct war, direct combat with somebody backed by Russia or by China or by some other major superpower.
Chances of getting into a conflict with Iran is very slim.
No, I think Iran is smart enough to understand that they just don't have the resources to get into a war with the United States, and I believe Iran will back down and start playing a little nicer.
I'm Shane Lays with Airwaves Media.
Since our last head football coach got promoted to athletic director, our new head football coach, Rusty Bush, has new and bigger plans for our football team. Now to Bobby Taylor for more.
Here at Alma High School, there's been a lot of changes to our coaching staff. I've talked to Doug Lockridge and a student to see what they think of the new head coach for this upcoming football season.
We had a rigorous application process where our head coaching job was advertised about week 8 of the season this year, and we opened it up. There was an application process people had to go through. We had about probably 40 applications turned in through our website through our school website. We had numerous calls from coaches from other districts and even other states. It was a pretty extensive search, and a lot of quality coaches that applied, and thought we came up with some very quality candidates for the job. I think he's going to bring a wealth of leadership to our staff. I think he's going to be a great person to have on staff because all the experience he's had at Fort Smith Northside. He's went through some really good years. He's had some rebuilding years. I think the things that he has seen on the defensive side of the ball there will be a great asset to our staff. The things that he knows about how to build a program and how to manage a program, I think, are some things that will really help our staff out and will help our staff grow. I'm assistant at Northside High School for the last 14 years or so, where he has been a defensive coordinator and assistant head coach.
I feel that he's going to do good things to the team, that you can tell he's really excited to come in as a new head coach, not being one before. He seems really cool. Seems like he cares about the team a lot so far, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Most people say it's actually a good idea for having a new head coach because it'd be someone new.
I feel like he's going to come in, do his best to take what we did last year and improve it towards next season, and hopefully move us on in the playoffs and continue what Coach Luck left behind.
There's a lot more than just filling out an application out for head coaching. It takes a long process to figure out who the right applicant is.
I think we are. It definitely is going to be different not having Coach Locke around as much, but we feel that having Coach Bush is going to still impact us and make us better as a team and do its best for us.
For Airwaves Media, it has been Bobby Taylor signing out.
The Alma dance team has had an incredible opportunity to go to nationals after placing first runner-up in the Arkansas State dance competition. The dance team recently placed 14th in the nation with an amazing hip-hop routine. We are so proud of the AHSDT. Jean Alexander tells us more.
The Alma dance team has had an incredible season so far. They recently placed first runner-up for state dance. The Alma dance team has been working hard on preparing for nationals and has loved every minute of being part of the team. The longer they are together, the stronger the bond is. I spoke with Brooke Brewer, the dance coach, on how they have been preparing for nationals.
We've been practicing, so they try out for the team and at the end of May, the week after our dance show. And then they start training all summer. They train about 20 hours a week in the summer on an average week. And then we train all school year, about 14 hours a week. We do morning practice, and then we have state competition in November. Once we qualify in by placing at the state competition, we continue to practice for nationals. So we've continued our morning practices and we've added some weekends.
Airedale dance team is looking forward to the opportunity of competing once again in nationals.
We're super excited. So this will be the 4th time that an Alma team has gone to nationals. The most recent time we went was 2 years ago. So our current seniors who were on the team 2 years ago have actually been before. So their leadership has been really helpful in this process. Our kids have worked this is really what they strive to be able to do, is compete on a national level. So they've been working really, really hard to make sure like their hip hop routine won first place in the state competition. So that helped qualify us to be able to attend. And then we're also taking our jazz routine. So they've been really working hard, focusing on those 2 routines and refining their technique and weekly ballet class and things like that, so that they are competitive on a national level. But they're pumped. They're super excited.
Nationals is a huge competition comprised of about 60 dance teams, and it looks like Alma is a fierce competition. All dance teams have earned their place at nationals and have been working diligently at cleaning up their routines.
But I think that they'll do well. So our preliminary group in jazz, we're going to start with about 50 teams, and they'll advance half to the next round and then half into the finals. And then same thing for hip hop. So, you know, obviously our goal is always to advance, but the level of competition is so high. We've just been trying to prep by watching as many teams as we can, watching their film and their footage, and kind of seeing what we're up against and what we need to be prepared with when we get there. We've had college coaches looking at our routines. We've had different choreographers looking at our routines, and just getting as many opinions as we can about what we can do to be the most successful when we get there.
National spotlight is on every one of these dance teams, and the intensity of this competition is unlike anything that newer students could ever expect.
You know, it's always concerning when we have kids that haven't been before. It's huge, and it's so, you can't even describe how big it is and how many teams are there. And when you're in the venues, you're going to have, 7 or 8 teams all backstage, all warming up at the same time, all loud, all intense. It can get intimidating really fast, and you have ESPN cameras everywhere because they're streaming it, and you have representatives from all these colleges that are there scouting, and so it's really easy to get just nervous and freaked out if you're not used to the event. So for our first timers, I'm always just really, my biggest concern is making sure that they keep their head on straight and that they don't let all that outside noise get to them, and that they're able to just really focus in and zero in on their routine and not let their nerves get the best of them.
This is Gene Alexander reporting for Airwaves Media.
Thank you for watching this week's show.
Be sure to subscribe and give a like down below. And as always, thanks for watching The Airedale.